Welcome, this is Rajendra Kumar Sadhna and you are watching Khabar Tak. In the sequence of stories of superhit films shown on Khabar Tak, the new link of the story that I have brought before you is the story of film Arju, that is Desire. This film was brought on the silver screen in 1965. The director of this film was Ramanand Sagar. The lead role in this film were played by Rajendra Kumar and Sadhna, and Nasir Hussain, Achla Sahdev and Firoz Khan had played character role in this film. The comedy part in this film were played by the veteran comedian Mahmood. However, this film, being an emotional film, had no traditional villain. Only the circumstances had played the role of villain. This film included many beautiful dance scene and melodious song as well. The music director of this film were Shankar Jaikishan, and the voiceover in this film were given by Lata Mangeshkar, Asa Bhosle, and Muhammad Rafi. However, almost all the songs in this film were melodious, yet छलके तेरी आँखों से शराब और भी ज्यादा छलके तेरी आँखों से ए फूलों की रानी बहारों की मलिका तेरा मुस्कुराना गजब हो गया एंड अजीर उठ कर अब कहाँ जाइएगा जहाँ जाइएगा हमें पाइएगा अजीर उठ कर अब कहाँ जाइएगा. I received great fame that year. Now listen to the entire story of film Arju, that is Desire. The story of the film Arju, that is Desire, begins at India Gate in Delhi, where Gopal, played by Rajendra Kumar, rides a bicycle to his college to check his medical exam results. Gopal tops the exam. Gopal's classmates congratulate him on his top result. When he returns home, his mother tells him, "You will definitely top the medical exam and become an accomplished doctor." Your late father had a similar wish. Then, as his sister Sapna, played by Najima, congratulates him, his friend Ramesh, played by Firoz Khan, arrives and congratulates Gopal. Saying he wants to give him something more than just congratulation, he places 2 tickets to Kashmir in Gopal's hand. A day before his scheduled departure, Ramesh's father sent him away on a special mission. When Ramesh tells Gopal that his father is sending him away, Gopal also begins to argue about not going to Kashmir. Hearing this, Ramesh tells Gopal to go to Gulmarg in Kashmir on the scheduled date and that he too would finish his work in a few days and then they would have a lot of fun together. When Gopal, following Ramesh's advice, takes his seat on the plane to go to Kashmir, a girl named Usha, played by Sadhna, is already sitting there. She argues with Gopal, sometimes blaming him for her pallu, that is skirt of sari, getting tucked in, sometimes for other things. Finally, upset by her behavior, Gopal says that if he does not like him sitting there, he will go sit somewhere else. By then, Gulmarg arrived. When Gopal leaves the aerodrome, Mangu, played by Mahmood, asks him to rent his Shikara Jannat. Impressed by his words, Gopal moves into his Shikara and starts living there under the name Sarju. A few days later, a ski competition is held in Gulmarg. Sarju participates in skipping competition. During the competition, Usha joins the others in cheering Sarju whenever he passes her. After the final round, the organizer declares Sarju the winner. Everyone then congratulates him, including Usha's father. After Sarju has gone a little further, Usha congratulates him on his victory, and Sarju thanks and moves on. The next day, while Sarju is admiring the beauty of one of the valleys of Gulmarg, Usha arrives on a pony and rebukes him for ignoring her congratulations and walking away. Sarju replies that he did so because, based on her behavior on the plane, he sensed that he dislikes his company. After this, the period of complaints ends and the two begin to talk lovingly. Usha, citing it as too long, goes home and Sarju returns to his shikara. The next day, Usha's parents meet Sarju with Usha. While Usha's mother talks about Sarju training in Switzerland, Usha's father suggests training in Canada. But when Sarju reveals that he trained in Delhi, not either, they exchange glances. Usha asks where in Delhi there is enough snow to ski. Sarju replies it is all about balance, and he learned to balance while walking the streets of Delhi. Usha's father then proposes throwing a banquet in Sarju's honor. When Usha is asked to sing a song, she expresses her love for Sarju as she sings. One day, when Sarju attempts to speak to Usha over the phone, Usha's father picks up. Sarju hangs up after Usha's father does so repeatedly. Usha then picks up, but because her father is there, she attempts to speak to Sarju by addressing him as Salma. Sarju, however, fails to grasp her tricky by addressing her as Salma. Usha intends to speak to him. Usha then comes to Sarju, claiming she is going to visit her friend Salma. Then exchange sweet words, and in the evening, Usha leaves. This continues for a few days. One day, Usha falls ill. Then Sarju disguises himself as doctor, and with her father's permission, meets Usha. Her father, unaware of Sarju's presence, allows him to stay with her, where they share a sweet conversation whenever they can. One day, Usha's father overhears Usha and Sarju's conversations but does not tell her anything. Sarju tells Usha to go to Pathankot the next day and ask her to come to the airport. The next day, when Usha prepares to drop Sarju off the airport, her father tells her not to go anywhere and orders her to stay in her room. Meanwhile, as the flight departure time approaches, Sarju's anxiety grows. He begins writing a letter asking Mangu to deliver it to Usha. He has only written a few lines when Usha arrives, and Sarju leaves the unfinished letter with Mangu and goes to meet Usha. Usha tells him that she was forced to stay in her room because her father became suspicious of her, but out of love for him, she jumped from the balcony and came here. Sarju then boards the plane, promising to return the following Sunday. On their way back home, Mangu gives her an incomplete letter written by Sarju, which states that he is not actually Sarju and that he has not been able to give her his true address in all these days. Usha becomes anxious after reading this letter, but Mangu assures her that her husband lover is a good man and will definitely return on Sunday. Because Usha arrives, her father starts looking for her. Just then, Usha arrives. Seeing Usha, her father taunts her that she returned after meeting Salma. To this, she explains that she had gone to meet Sarju, the man she loves, not Salma. Usha's father calls Sarju trickster and a deceiver and tells Usha not to love him. But when Usha confesses that she loves him, he scolds her, saying that by loving a trickster, she is trying to tarnish the family's reputation. Usha then breaks down, saying that if her mother were alive today, she would understand her pain. Hearing Usha's voice, her father also becomes emotional. Sarju or Gopal is heading to his destination in a taxi after getting off a plane in Pathankot. While the taxi driver is talking about his love for Sarju, he loses control of the vehicle, causing it to overturn. Someone reaches the injured Gopal to hospital despite being severely injured in the accident. The hospital manager, despite Gopal's severe injuries, strives to save him. To save Gopal's life, the doctor amputes one of his legs. When Gopal recovers, the doctor encourages him, but as soon as he sees his amputated leg, he breaks down, crying, "Doctor, what have you done?" The doctor, explaining that this was necessary to save his life, asks for his home address and calls him. Hearing about his hospital stay, his sister and mother become alarmed. Gopal tells his mother that it was not him who had the accident but his friend, who is being treated there. When his mother urges him to come quickly, he says he cannot leave until his friend recovers. The doctor tells him to tell his mother everything in detail. He then asks him to call his mother or sister. The doctor warns him that if he tells his mother, she won't be able to bear the shock. The doctor then tells him to call his wife. Hearing the doctor's words, Ramesh remembers how Usha felt about being in this world. It is better not to be in this world than to be alive handicapped. When Ramesh returned to Delhi after completing his father's assignment, his father showed him a picture of a girl and says, "This is his friend's daughter. My friend wants to marry his daughter to you. Go there and meet this girl and tell me your opinion." Ramesh then goes to Gopal's house. Here, Gopal's sister Sapna tells him about Gopal's love for a Kashmiri girl. Ramesh replies he confirmed his love without even asking me or showing me the girl. "I am going to Kashmir now and teach the kids a lesson." He then leaves for Kashmir the next day. When Ramesh leaves the aerodrome to go to his father's friend's house, Mangu offers him a ride on his Shikara Jannat. Ramesh responds that he has a place to stay there, but hearing the name Jannat, he questions Gopal's whereabouts. When Mangu tells him about his stay with a gentleman named Sarju and his love for a girl. When Ramesh arrives to stay with his father's friend Usha's father, Usha becomes attracted to him. He tries to win her heart through casual conversation, but she refuses. One day Ramesh proposes leaving and confronts Usha about his love, but Usha remains preoccupied with Sarju. Ramesh then offers to accompany him to the aerodrome the next day. Usha accepts his offer, saying that a friend of hers is also arriving on the same flight tomorrow. The next day, Ramesh, Usha, and Usha's father arrive at the aerodrome. A flight from Delhi arrives, but Sarju does not arrive. Usha's father calls Sarju a cheater and tells Usha not to wait for him any longer. Taking the opportunity, Ramesh tells Usha that none of your friends were coming, but your coming here makes me feel that you love me too. Ramesh then returns to Delhi. After Gopal recovers, the doctor has his practices working with his prosthetic leg. One day Gopal returns home. His mother and sister Sapna are overjoyed to see him. When Sapna questions him about his sister-in-law, Gopal explains it was all in attempt to fool Ramesh. Ramesh then arrives and reveals that Mangu had also told him about their love affair in Kashmir. Sapna and Ramesh then force Gopal to accept his love. Gopal then confesses his love and removes his prosthetic leg. Seeing his severed leg, both his sister Sapna and his friend Ramesh scream. Thereupon Gopal says, "When you both saw my amputated leg, you both screamed. I cannot even imagine what the person who has to live with me for the rest of their lives would be like after seeing this." After this, Gopal begins working at a hospital run by an organization that treats disabled children. His treatment here helps many disabled children recover, leading this organization's director to praise him greatly. The following year, when a skiing competition is held in Gulmarg, Gopal comes to see it. Usha's father also comes with her, hoping to entertain Usha and encourages Sarju to participate in the competition again. At the end of the competition, Gopal spots Usha, who has come there with her father, and starts walking away. Usha sees him walking away and she approaches him, calling him Sarju, Sarju. She pleads with him, pleading with him to come with her. Gopal then tells her that he is not Sarju, claiming she is mistaken. By then, Usha's father arrives, calling him a trickster and a traitor, and tells Usha to forget him. Gopal or Sarju leaves. Usha's father is heartbroken by Sarju's behavior. He urges Usha to forget Sarju, but Usha still refuses. One day she asks her father for permission to go to Delhi to pursue further studies and investigate Sarju's true identity. She says that Sarju seems to have been an accident, which is why he does not recognize her. After going to Delhi, Sapna enrolls in the same college as Usha. Sapna befriends Usha there. One day, Ramesh shows Sapna a picture of his fiancée, but Sapna reveals that she is actually his friend who attends the same college. The next day, Sapna, along with several of her friends, teases Usha about this. Instead of being happy, Usha becomes even more worried and runs to her room. When Sapna arrives, Usha reveals that she loves Sarju, not Ramesh, but Sarju. She has been unable to meet him. She has come to Delhi to find him. After a considerable period of time has passed since Usha's return to Delhi, her father suggests that she marry Ramesh as Sarju is not coming to her, and once he does appear, he walks away, claiming he is an impersonator, so he is not coming back, and I am nowhere to be found. Therefore, I want you to marry Ramesh as soon as possible. She does not respond, but her father comes to Ramesh's house and talks to his friends about arranging Ramesh and Usha's wedding. Ramesh's father agrees. After this, preparation for Ramesh and Usha's wedding began in full swing. When Gopal does not show up for the ceremony, Ramesh sends Sapna to Gopal's house, threatening to conceal his own wedding if he does not show up. Sapna returns to Gopal with this message from Ramesh. Meanwhile, Mangu, taunted by his wife that all men are cheaters and his husband is one, come to Delhi in search of his master Sarju. He works as a laborer to support himself. One day, while delivering supplies for a wedding, he sees Ramesh there. He then approaches Ramesh and, seeing a picture of Ramesh's fiancée, tells him that she is his Sarju Babu's girlfriend. Hearing this, Ramesh also goes to meet Gopal. When Sapna tells Gopal about Ramesh's statement, Gopal still refuses to attend her wedding. Ramesh then arrives and accuses Gopal of betraying his friend. He claims that Mangu told him everything. Gopal then tells that Usha once told him that being handicapped means losing a good life. Therefore, you would be a better match for Usha than me. Now that I am handicapped, I am no longer Usha's equal. By then, anger arrives and tells Gopal, you are so caught up in just one thing I said. I told you other things. Even talked about spending my life with you, but you forgot them all. Now see what I do. Saying this, she quickly runs away. Afterwards, everyone begins searching for Usha. Gopal, limping, also searches for her. He spots a sawmill where Usha is seen sitting on a piece of wood ready to be cut. Despite being clad in a fake cloak, Gopal rushes there and saves Usha from being cut. When asked, anger reveals that she too wanted to be cut to become equal to him. By then, everyone has gathered there, and seeing Gopal and Pooja's true love, they arranges their marriage with this scene. The story of the film Arju, that is Desire, ends